Get started. Quick disclaimer, I'm here to talk about Dario, which is a story trading VIP pick. It's my only VIP pick coming from myself. First, a quick disclaimer, story trading is not investment advisor. Investing in securities involves significant risk of loss. Thank you, Justin Carver, for letting me know I'm good to go. Got to figure all that out. So let's get right into it. For those of you who are not familiar, what's in a story trade? Story trading is the art of understanding market pricing through the lens of four pillars of fundamentals, catalysts, sentiment, and technicals. We have an upcoming app to scale our process. We've been very successful doing this on WhatsApp and on Zoom, and maybe here soon on YouTube Live, but we want to scale that in our own app. You can sign up for the waitlist for a private beta over at storytrading.com. We got lots of VIP picks. We're dramatically outperforming the market. The most recent one that got some notoriety is Air Test Systems, AEHR. Gosh, I made a tremendous amount of money on that. The thing is up from like $250 to $20 in just 3 months. So you can go over to storytrading.com, click on VIP picks. Now we've gotten a lot of people wanting to talk about their stocks, wanting story trading to promote their stocks. So we started a new vetting process. If you have a stock that you want presented to our VIP community and eventually make its way over onto all of our social media platforms and with our media partners, go to storytrading.com/submit, capital VIP, to help vet your idea, get that through the system. So Dario Health, DRIO. Last trade now $15.94. It was $16.14 was making the presentation, about a $200 million market cap. Now I got into the stock after the pandemic, after they had a really awesome raise, entered around $7. I peaked at 32. Recently it pulled back to the 10 to 12.50 range. I started doing some shows for story trading VIP, and then I got on Benzinga. So we're going to talk about the chart in just a second as it relates to fundamentals, catalyst, sentiment, and technicals. Here it is. This is what we try to do. This is the chart as I presented on Benzinga just a few weeks ago. It was down at $11. I was buying a lot of stock back then. And what I want to point out is, why did it drop? It's really important to understand the past, because it's going to help you understand what the stock's going to do today. Okay. So as you can see here, the stock, all of these moves were pretty much in line with what the whole digital health sector was doing. And TDOC is the bellwether in the sector, and most of the digital health stocks are following TDOC. But over here, it started disassociating, and Dario had a 50% drop after the quarter ended. And the story behind this that you need to understand is that Dario Health has been promising a major insurer to be onboarded to win a contract with a major insurer for their platform. They've been promising this for many, many quarters. I would say it's about 5 quarters at this point. And they keep on saying, they come on the conference calls and they keep on saying it's imminent, it's imminent, it's imminent. Well, it didn't happen. And finally, people got tired, because in the most recent conference call, he said it is happening by the end of this quarter. He gave himself a deadline, I think end of June. Whatever the end of the quarter was, but it matched with this drop. Okay. It didn't come as he promised, and the stock just tanked 50%. Okay. So as you'll see, I'll show you a couple slides coming up in terms of relative valuations. I like to look at the history here and understand the sentiment of the market and why the stock dropped, because there's a premium built into the stock based on the expectation that they were going to win this insurer. When it didn't happen, it dropped 50%. This gives you a clue as to where it's going to happen when that event, that sentiment is reversed. Okay. And that's what we got today. We got a reversal of that today, because they finally signed that big insurer deal. And I expect Dario to imminently get up to the $20 plus range. Imminently. Could happen today, Friday, maybe next week. I know Erez is talking to analysts today. He's coming to New York to talk to a bunch of analysts next week. And I know a little bit about his thinking with the stock price and where it should be and where in the future the next raise should be. So I really think this stock is heading to the $20 to $25 range very, very, very quickly. Let's see if I got some other charts for you over here. So a couple other things I want to point out is, this is the expectations that was built in: 100% growth between 2021 and 2022. And this was reliant on getting an insurer into the system. It wasn't happening. That's why it sold off. Now that big insurer is signed up, and I verified with Erez, the CEO of Dario, this morning that this is the big one. This is the one. They've been talking about it for a while. This is the one that can give them hockey stick growth. There's also 2 other insurer deals pending. This is a top 5 national insurer. So this is the big one that's going to immediately give them revenue growth and help them meet their expectations. So we'll see what the analysts say after they have the conversations with Dario today and next week. I anticipate some comments, some upgrades. I anticipate a very, very exciting week ahead for Dario. Those who aren't familiar, you can see the revenue growth of Dario here. Some of this organic, some of this through acquisition. The capital raise, you can see they've been doing some capital raises, but this is actually one of the main reasons I am interested in the stock, and one of the reasons I think it's going to $20 plus very soon. Dario, Erez, the CEO of Dario, is an expert at raising capital. He does it on very, very good terms. Almost all of the capital raises have been without warrants and above market pricing. The last one he did was in the low 20s. And I anticipate if he does one again in the future, it will be above that. He's told me what he thinks about the stock price. He's told me what he thinks about his duty to shareholders and not diluting them and getting really, really good terms. The liquidity is not really there. Institutions, if they want to get in, there's less than 500,000 shares traded today, and the stock is up 18%. If they want to establish a big position, they got to go through Erez. So I anticipate the stock is going to take off, and he's going to do some sort of deal at some point in the next few months, probably in the 25 to 35 range, I'm thinking. That's my guess right now. So now the valuation of Dario, very, very low. I'll get into that, comparing it with their peers in just a second. And here's the plan, by the way. Those of you who have not seen it, this is it. Leading national health plan and confirmation. I have personal confirmation from Erez that this is the big one, the one that's going to help them meet market expectations next year, the one that can give them hockey stick growth in revenue. This is the one they've been waiting for. Now the technicals, I got Rexman to give us a quick update. Beautiful chart here. And you know what? Based on what Livongo has done in the past and Teladoc, I'll show a couple charts and relative valuation soon. Now Dario has the relationships. They have the contracts. So if this revenue comes in as expected and they execute, I could see this being a $50, $100, $200 stock. This one, I think, potentially has even more upside than Air Test Systems, the one that you guys know. It's coming from a higher point, though. We're at 15, 16 now, right? I talked about Air Test Systems being a $50 to $100 stock in 2 to 3 years. Well, Dario, if they execute and if they don't sell their company, I think this has $100 to $200 potential in the next 2 to 3 years. So higher upside here with Dario, starting from a higher level, though. You can read the technical notes. Rexman is my favorite technician. Real quick, the updated chart shows an inverse head shoulder pattern, 3 blue dots on a 3-year uptrending channel. The current bounce was from 3 months. This current rally may meet a midterm wall with the yellow dot. So he has something here about 20 to 22's resistance, and that really jives with what I was looking at with the previous chart in terms of a quick, immediate reflation to the $20 to $22 range. I think that's going to happen within the next few days. The breakout of the primary resistance is the 25, 26s. Okay, so there you go. There's the update from Rexman. Now, these are slides I shared with Benzinga in terms of relative valuations on Teladoc and Livongo. I'm not going to get into these in detail. You can look for those videos on our YouTube channel. But what I will tell you is this can be the next Livongo. Livongo was bought out by Teladoc at 38 times sales. Those Livongo investors are floating around looking for where to put their money. You know, a bunch of them had been in Dario. A bunch of them left because this deal didn't happen. I know some personally who stayed to the sidelines. They said, I'll get back in when they get this insurer deal. Big people with big money. I expect them to be diving into the stock today, tomorrow, over the next few days. If you look at the valuations, again, 38 times sales. Teladoc was trading at 19 times sales at the time. Now, Livongo was growing at 125%. Dario's forecast to grow 100. So very similar growth profiles. And if you look at the multiples over here, you can see Dario is really, really undervalued. It has lots of room to grow. To catch up with TDOC, it'll have to triple in price. Okay, so that's what I got for you today. Here's some other things, how I knew to buy that this deal was imminent. You gotta, this is from the conference call. the most recent one where I was talking about why there was a delay and why it was imminent. So I've still been in the stock. I've actually had calls going into today, not a tremendous amount, but I had calls going into today that expire tomorrow. So just full disclosure, I also added a tremendous amount of common shares. I sold some of my air this morning. I doubled my position in Dario. I also bought all sorts of options, some expiring next month, some expiring tomorrow, in the money, out of the money. I'm real excited about this. I think the stock's going to explode. We're going to get the Dario CEO, Erez. We'll get him on a Zoom or a YouTube live soon. I may be meeting with him next week. He's coming to New York City. So guys, if you like the content we provide here, please like this video. Please tell your friends, share this live stream, follow us on Twitter, follow us on YouTube, and we will be back with more in the near future.